At some point, your Python project turns into one giant messy file, where nobody knows where anything lives. I know, we've all been there. Today, we'll clean up the mess by separating code into modules and packing modules into the packages. Hello. Here is our main.py file. We have 6 classes, utility functions, input handling, game loop, and py setup all in one file. It works, but it won't scale. Let's start simple. We'll move utility classes into the utility module. Sounds great, but what's a module? Python module is just a .py file that contains definitions. It may contain classes, functions, variables, and even executable statements. I will create utils.py file in the project folder and move geometry utils class definition into this file. Now, if I will run the game, it will crash with name not defined error. Okay, seems legit. We just deleted this class and move elsewhere. To be able to use it, we have to import the module first. Technically speaking, I just added module named utils to the current namespace. And using module name, I can access geometry utils class, which is defined inside the module. So, let's update geometry utils call specifying module prefix. A bit wordy, isn't it? Luckily, you can import geometry utils class directly to the current namespace. Now you can call the class as it was defined in the current module. But be cautious, directly imported classes and functions can conflict with other name in the current namespace. In this case, you can always use alias. Now, as you master import foo, let's see what we can do with other classes. For example, we can move GameObject, player and all 3 NPC classes into the GameObject module. But I have a better idea. Let's make GameObjects package instead. Package is collection of modules, and we will start this collection by creating GameObjects folder. To make the folder a Python package, we have to create special Python file init.py. Think of it as a signal to Python that says, hey, this folder is package. We'll explore what else it can do in the future videos. Okay, now we can start populating package with modules starting from the GameObject module. You may notice that this module requires pygame module, so let's import it as well. Okay, next the player module. Now we need GameObject class, but how do we import it? We have two options, absolute and relative import. Relative imports use leading dots to indicate the current path and parent packages. So, to import GameObject class, we can say which literally means from this package GameObject module import GameObject class. Or you can use absolute imports, which mean you have to explicitly specify package name. Overall, the best practice is to use absolute imports, so I will stick to one. Okay, NPC next. For beginner, let's create NPC model that will contain NPC class definition. Quick look at the warnings will tell us that we are missing 3 declarations. Draw text function, GameUtils class, and pygame module. For now, let's simply comment draw text function call, I will explain it later. As for geometry utils and pygame, we already know how to import them, so let's do it. Cool. Now guards and quest givers. As we have 2 NPC roles, it may seem a good idea to simply move them into NPC model. But let's look into the future. As game grows, NPC logic will become more complex and also new roles will be introduced, making NPC model unmaintainable. To prevent this, let's create separate module for each role. On top of that, I will create NPC folder to keep them together. Note that I'm not creating init.py file, since it's not the package, just a folder to make logical separation inside the GameObject package. Once again, we see that we require escape rest function that, like draw text function, is defined in the main module. Let's ignore it too for a brief moment. Now let's fix the main module imported requiring NPCs. Note how import path reflects folder structure inside the package. Let's test the game. Everything works, except we do not see NPC names and quest giver overreacts to the player. Time to face these issues. Let's go back to the NPC class. Here I commented draw text function. Let's try to import it and I will explain why. Game crashed, and Python suggests it because of a circular import. Python is right. let's take a look at imports side by side. In main module, we import in PC module, which imports main module, which imports in PC module, which imports main module, and I think you've got it. Circular import. But what we can do? Several things actually. We can move module import statement into the draw method, so it will be imported only when its method will be called. It works because in PC module is no longer hardly depends on the main module, so it can be initialized properly. Does it solve the issue? Yes. Is it best solution? Not today. Let's think about main module and its responsibilities. I would say main module should initialize the game itself, create required game objects, and run the game loop. But now we have a lot of functions that handle input, drawing stuff, etc. None of them are main module responsibilities, so let's create several utility classes inside utils module and move them there for now. And another issue down the road. Screen variable is a global variable, which we can't access already. Don't play with global variables, kids, it will ruin your day someday. But it's slightly easy fix for now. Let's make screen as method argument. Now I like it much more. No strange imports, just another utility used. Last things to fix is classGiver class. The same approach as before. Input utils class will do the trick. Now all we have to do is clean up the main module, fixing imports and utility calls. Now we're done. Is it the best solution? Not ideal, but it's far better than the one we start with. Every module now doing its job. Main initialize and run everything, NPCs are doing their own object and depend only on utility classes, and utils are just utilities that simplify the code and makes it reusable. Okay, module and packages done. Remember where we have started. Messy file full of definitions, global variables and mixed responsibilities. Now we have clean boundaries of packages and modules. In the next video we will step away from the theory and code organization and go back to the game development. Our tiny world needs a lens and we will implement one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Ciao!